Chanka, hello, it's Niles from The Nanny. How are you, my dear? What a pleasure it is to speak to you. I've had a message from Vanya telling me that you have a birthday coming on the 8th of October, I believe, and he wanted me to send you a little short video congratulating you on turning 30 for the second time. You sound like Miss Babcock and Miss Fine. Miss Fine has been claiming to be 29 since I met her 30 years ago, so do the math. And of course, Miss Babcock has been claiming to be 35 since she was plucked out of that lifeboat the night the Titanic sank, and I don't mean the movie. I think women are very sensitive about their age, so I hope you don't mind my knowing that you're turning 31. It's a wonderful age. I remember it well. Well, let's see, it's only... Oh, I've lost count of how many years ago that was. I'm about to turn 77. Do you know, I am 77. I'm about to turn 78. I lie about my age. 78 in November. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Men don't usually care as much about age as women do. Miss Babcock is very sensitive about it. I've never been able to find out her actual age. Every time she goes to the doctor for her annual physical, I try to bribe him into counting the rings around her waist. You know, the way they tell the age of an old redwood tree, because there are similarities between them. And he says it's a filthy job and he won't do it. So the last time she had a birthday, I baked a cake and I put so many candles on it that when they were fully lit, it looked like a Canadian wildfire. It was really embarrassing. It set off the smoke alarm, and Boy Scouts ran to the apartment building to find out if we were okay. We are. She was not amused, but all of our guests found it wildly funny. But she and I are exactly as we have always been, except during the lockdown she was depressed, and so she began to binge nibble, and so she put on a little weight. I walked into the kitchen one night and she was putting peanut butter on an aspirin. I said, "What is that, dear? A hunger headache?" I said, "You've got to cut down, dear, because you took a bath last night. I went to scrub the tub this morning. It had stretch marks. You got on the scale and a message popped up that said 1 at a time, please." I cautioned her not to run for a taxi in Manhattan because her thighs might catch on fire. I know that fat jokes are not politically correct, but in her case, they're just an accurate description of how she is at the moment. Also, if you saw her on the street, you wouldn't recognize her because she's had her face lifted so many times there's nothing left in her shoes. I hope that when you get to be a certain age, you will just age naturally and gracefully, unlike some of these women nowadays who walk around with, well, with these lips. These puffy lips. I don't understand why they think it's attractive. To me, it looks like they might have washed something that might have washed up on the beach. Her lips are out to here, and her lips come into a room a good 10 or 15 seconds before the rest of her arrives. And they're spongy, and kissing them isn't pleasant, and watching her eat isn't pleasant because all the food sort of, if you want to know what she ate, just look at her shirt or her blouse. That's where it lands. So, as you can hear from my description of what it's like to be with her, it's not necessarily fun, but I worship the quicksand she walks on, and I can't explain why. I guess the two of us have always felt that love was a matter of chemistry, which explains why we've always treated one another like toxic waste. I don't know whether you watched The Nanny in Peru, or whether you watched it since you've come to America. I don't know which. We have a lot of fans in South America in various places, and I must visit someday because it would be nice to meet everyone in person who are Nanny fans, as you can probably understand. It would be fun for me. So, at any rate, I've digressed far enough. I want to do the following. A happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chanka. Happy birthday to you. And thank Vanya for sending me to you to celebrate your 30th for the second time. Bye-bye.